next 30 minutes.
And
And
now
now
we are recording.
we are recording.
All right.
Stand by.
Stand by.
Guys,
All right.
if you
If
love
you love
football,
ball,
you're gonna love
you're gonna
this.
love this.
This is
This is
Gator Talk
Gator
with
Talk
your
with your
host
host
Alex
Alex
Perez
Perez
and Agent
and
Green.
Agent Green.
Let's head back
Head
to the
back
voice
to the voice
from the
from the
Disability TV
Disability
Network
Network
studios
studios.
and your
And
host
your
of
host
Gator Talk,
of Gator Talk,
Alex
Alex
Perez
Perez
and Agent
and
Green.
Agent Green.
Take it away,
Take
boys.
it away, boys.
Okay,
Okay,
take it away,
take it away,
Adrian.
Adrian.
All right. As always, we are coming to you with another episode with your host, Alex Perez, and I am your co host, guest starring as always. And it's an honor and a privilege to be with my good buddy, Alex Perez. And we pray that all is well in your household and that you enjoy another installment of Gator Talk, where we will be discussing the LSU Fighting Tigers and the Florida Gators of Gainesville. And I won't keep you waiting. We'll jump right into it. And so we witnessed a beatdown in Baton Rouge at Death Valley at 7:30 kickoff. It was a exciting game, full of ups and downs. Um, no trick plays from the Gators. Just um, Jaden Daniels put on a Heisman performance. As you can see, the stats where Jaden Daniel ran for 272 yards or something like that. And well, actually, he ran for 200 plus. Let's just say that. And he threw for 372 yards and 3 TDs, in which he actually ran in two. So he accounted for 5 total touchdowns against a Florida defense that we thought was getting a little bit better, but as it turns out, um, the guys are just young, man, and they fought hard. Billy has them fighting hard, but of course there are no moral victories in football, and so I understand that he's making the guys responsible and trying to make good men, young men, great men in life, and building character and loyalty and responsibility, which are all good moral standings in this day and age. Once again, this is a disclaimer. Billy is a great guy, and we appreciate everything that he's doing for the University of Florida. But at the same time, we bought you in to win games. We bought you in to restock the cupboard, and bring in some top talent. As of yet, we have yet to see that. And what you seen last night in Baton Rouge, or what you seen Saturday night in Baton Rouge, was a star quarterback taking advantage of a young defense. And when you don't have depth, quality depth that can come in and compete at a high level, this is what you see. The SEC is not a league where you can bring in a bunch of 3-star recruits and expect them to contend with 3, 4, and 5-star talent across the board. Florida plays one of the hardest schedules in America year in and year out, and nobody is going to have any pity on Florida because Steve Spurrier made the comment, we will pay anybody, anywhere, anytime, you name the place, and we'll meet you there. And so because of that, Florida is a hated university that feel like, people feel like they think they are better than us. So whenever the University of Florida is coming to any school, that game will be circled, because everybody have to get up for the Gators, which is one of the cheer songs. Come on, Gators, get up and go. Except for we can get up, but we have issues going, and that's where we're spinning our tires in the mud, so to speak. And so we left with this result of 35 points, and LSU covered the 14 and a half point spread. They actually went over the spread, and it probably would have been closer to the spread if Graham Mertz could have connected on a couple of good deep throws, but he missed on a few, and I'm sure he would like to have those back. And so that's just me summarizing up the game, and I will turn it over to Alex Perez and let you guys have at it.
That's a, a great point, Adrian, as always. And I I think, like we said in previous episodes, buddy, it's a a tra- a, tr- a, a tragedy. You know, the boys didn't come out to 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 play like they should. I mean, they tried, but you know, um, you know, Ellis, Ellis, you took it to the Gators. Um, at the end of the day, I think it's it's not enough, you know. So let's 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 uh let's forward over to you and let me let me hear what do you think. You have to unmute.
Mute.
Yeah, sorry about that, guys. The only issue I had with the game was we had a few third down calls, and I had a gentleman reach out to me. Well, not reach out to me, but I was checking out some different content, and we shared the same sentiment. And the gentleman was saying the same thing that I was, because I felt like we had a couple of opportunities in that game where we could have took. Nah, and don't get me wrong, I don't believe in mincing words, but we had opportunity to take control of the game. Of course, it would have been temporarily. However, we had opportunity once we went up um, in the game. After we got the turnover on special teams, we scored and go up. And right after that, Jaden Daniel run it down our throat, down the sideline, 60 or 70 yards. Just a total embarrassment. It showed the lack of speed that we have on the field, the lack of speed at linebacker, the lack of speed at defensive line, the lack of speed, elite speed. Yeah, we got football speed, but we don't have elite speed out there. It used to be a point where nobody was going to run away from a University of Florida defense. You wasn't running away from a Will Muschamp defense. Uh, McElwain even fielded some really good teams after he took over, as well. Some of Will Muschamp leftover recruits, and so when Dan came in, he did the same thing, where he took over some of McElwain recruits, and he did really well. And so, and Billy kind of did the same thing with Anthony Richards and some of the guys before they all transferred out. And so what we're seeing is the only talent that's on the field is the talent that Billy brought in. So as much as I want to be really disappointed in the defense and the guys being young, I mean, I get it. We're not there yet. And the defense is they're young and they are talented. But those guys, they're going up against grown men, 23, 24-year-old grown men. These are 18-year-old fresh out of high school guys, true freshmen, red shirt freshmen, red shirt sophomores, one or two juniors, one maybe senior that's probably a backup. So, we just don't have the talent that's needed to compete at a high level. But yeah, man, I really do believe that we missed on a few calls and maybe we ran the ball a little bit too much on third down, and it cost us dearly. And we paid the price. We paid the price. We had to punt in a few situations where we shouldn't have been punting, give the ball back to Jaden Daniels. We couldn't get a stop. And that was pretty much the entire game. We just couldn't get a stop on defense. You there?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
I agree.
100%.
100%.
What you said, there was some penalties, and the Gators didn't look like themselves. The LSU Tigers took it to the Gators and stomped down the Gators' throats. You know what I mean? It wasn't the outcome that we were expecting. Do you agree?
Oh yeah, I absolutely agree. And like I said, most of the pundits at ESPN and Vegas, nobody pegged Florida to win this game anyway. And and at this point in the year, I think most Gator fans understand that we're probably not going to win these next two games. But it's not about it. Winning is almost everything. But even if we was winning, it would be, how are you winning? So now that, it's vice versa, okay, we're going to lose. That's fine. I'm okay with losing because the young guys, they're gaining experience. But the question becomes, how do you look as you're losing? Are you fighting and you just don't have enough talent to win the game, but you trying to figure out a way to win? That's acceptable. But losing in a fashion where if maybe we just make a few adjustments, we probably can pull out a hat trick. You never say never because anything is possible. And even Jesus said that. Jesus was like, "Yo, anything is possible to him that believe." So if you believe, then you can achieve whatever it is that you're trying to achieve. I do believe that this particular team is extremely young, and maybe we're trying to put a square peg in a round hole. It's kind of like what Jim McElwain did when he was trying to make Treon a pocket quarterback when he was a true dual threat that was more dual than threat. So, yeah, we got to make a few adjustments and play to the talent that we have, and not just so much as, well, I'm gonna try and run this play regardless, even though we don't have the players to execute that kind of plan. But I do think our defensive coordinator Armstrong is the right guy. I think that he's calling plays for the talent that he will have and not for the talent that's on the roster. With Shamar James in the middle of that field, he can do all of that stuff that he's trying to do. But with Scooby Williams and Manny Nunnery manning that middle linebacker spot, man, it's just so much responsibility on those guys to keep an eye on the spy on the quarterback and pick up the running back because our D line is so weak. Our D line, I heard someone use the phrase that they're soft, and I understand where the anguish is coming from, but I mean, these guys, they just don't have that next level. The guys that's starting for Florida right now would be second or third string at Georgia or Alabama, or it's somewhere like that. But as time will have it, we actually got them starting on our D line because the cupboard was bare. That's all we got. And they say, all you got is all you need, and all you need is all you got. So that's all we got, y'all. I mean, the D line is what it is. I was looking at the cornerbacks. I felt bad for them, but you can't cover a wide receiver for 4 or 5 seconds. You just can't. And so I feel really bad for those guys, but that's what it is, man. We just don't have the horses right now to compete at an elite level. We getting better, but we just not there yet.
Um, Thank you again, and I agree what you said. Um, I think if they, get the the players that they need to get on their roster for next year, partner, they will mm, become that team that we all know and love. You, 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 you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, we it's a work in progress. The only problem is, I mean, next year is Billy Prove It year. I mean, you don't get 4 years in at this level to rebuild a program. You get 3 years, bro. Most people ain't getting nothing but two. Mississippi State fired their head coach already, and he just got hired this summer almost. When Mike Leach, rest in peace. when he passed, he got the job, and so he's already fired. Texas A&M, they just fired their coach. Somebody else just let their coach go. Like, people getting fired, and everybody trying to get out in front, to land a really good candidate at head coach. And so I really hate that. He would, but at least he's changing the culture. He's turning young boys into young men. And we can appreciate that, but the fact still remains, we brought you in to win games. And we will take the sidebar of a better man as well. But at the end of the day, ultimately it comes down to winning games. You got to win games. So Billy won't be judged. He won't be judged off these 2 years. But he will be judged next year. Judgment is next year. You got to win 8 games. You got to win 9 games. You got to find a way to win 8. 8 is the baseline. If you win 7 and you look good winning those 7, depending on which 7 that is, maybe. 8 games, you get 1 more year. But 6-6, nah. I doubt he'll make it through another season at 6-6.
Um,
Um,
the the
the
the question
the the question
the question that I
that I
had
had
for you,
for you,
Adrian,
Adrian,
remember
remember
when we was
when we were talk,
talking
talking
um
um
last
last
night,
night,
and we was
and
saying
we were saying
all
all
coaches
coaches
will get
will get
fired
fired
eventually.
eventually.
Do you agree?
Yep.
Do you agree?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you got to win games. Jimbo got fired because he didn't win enough games. That's what it come down to. You can recruit out of this world, but if you don't win games with those recruits that's out of this world, it don't matter. You still got to go. You got to go. Bottom line. That's it. We got work to do. I mean,
And
look at Missouri.
And
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Um,
Um,
when
when
when you look at
when you look at this
team
team
this year
this year
and
and
looking
and looking into
into
the
the following year,
following year,
will we
will we
get
get
better
better
as
I hope
as
so.
the previous
the previous
years
years
go on?
go on?
Yeah, we hope so, man. As of right now, we're doing worse than we did the first year. So, I mean, the only place to go from here is up, honestly. I mean, it can't get no worse than this, right?
I I
I, I,
I totally
I totally
I totally agree with you, Adrian. Um, it it can't it can't get no better than than this. You know what I'm saying? Um, any any um any thoughts about what I said earlier?
earlier.
No, man, I totally agree. I agree with everything, man. It's just a make or break season, man. Next year's you just can't judge Billy until next year. I mean, let him get all his recruits in and let him hit the transfer portal, and he got to knock that out the park. If you do not get any elite talent, you will be in the same situation that he's in right now. And I'm telling you right now, Auburn is starting to recruit well. Auburn is starting to play well. Auburn has a pulse on offense. Auburn is getting deep. They took one of our defensive commits. And I'm telling you right now, if Auburn has a really good season next year and Billy is average again, they will not stand by and let this continue. Now I heard something about the money and all this and all that. You better figure it out. I mean, you got TV contracts, and I won't get into the logistics of all of that, but back to the topic, we just got work to do, and that's okay. I'm willing to put the work in to get the results that's worth having. And you know, and and for me, as I with some closing thoughts, um, it is what it is. It was what it was. It was good, it was bad, and it was ugly. And that is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help me God, So we got another big game coming up on the road, and we go to Missouri at 7:30. Yeah, we go to Missouri, and they playing well. They just beat the crap out of Tennessee, so we'll see if we can go in and put forth that same performance. And maybe that performance will be good enough to upset somebody. I don't know. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. I don't know. But if they go to Missouri and fight like they fought LSU, then maybe they can spring the upset, And it's sad that we gotta say spring the upset talking about Florida, but that's a reality. The perception of the program is that it's young, talented, but young and feeble. And so, maybe we can take that young, feeble defense up to Columbus, Missouri, and find a way to get a W and get bowl eligible. Or else we'll be sitting home for while everybody else bowling, So just hang in there, Gator fans. It's gonna get better sooner than later. It's gonna get better.
And
And
if
if
if you don't
if
mind
you don't mind
m- m-
m-
muting
muting
your microphone while I close out, I would appreciate it, buddy. So we don't have that echo, you know. So, um, so I agree with Adrian 100%. Um, maybe things things will get better for the Gators next year if Billy Napier can recruit can recruit some more talent. And I'm gonna go back to what my buddy Adrian was saying a couple episodes. This team looks like a Sun Belt caliber team. You know what I'm saying? Um, I'm sorry that I'm sorry that I'm laughing, but that's the truth. I mean, don't don't you guys agree, Gator fans? And what do you think, Adrian?
Yeah, we're young, man, and we're young and just messing up coverage. And I mean, Grambling State and Army played LSU better than we did on defense. So we got a long ways to go, man. It's just yeah, it's been a rough year, man, and I guess it is what it is, though.
And
Hopefully next game we can get a win.
and and
and and
and what is
what is
your
your
thoughts
thoughts
going into
going into
the next
the next
game coming up?
game coming up?
Just don't get embarrassed again. Simple. Don't go out there and get embarrassed. That's it. Don't get embarrassed. We done been embarrassed the last 3 weeks. Embarrassed. Try not to get embarrassed again. I mean, you know, at some point it's got to change. So just try not to get embarrassed.
Okay. Um that was some great work as always, Adrian. Thank you as always. Um
Um,
I'm sorry that um it it took me a while to get all set up, but you know, I was trying to make sure that everything was working right, and you know that you was able to find the link. Um, um, how how did you like this way of doing it?
Oh, it's okay. It's okay.
I think
I think
I think it
I think it
worked out
worked out
mm, pretty
mm, pretty
mm, pretty well.
Pretty well.
Well, if you ask me,
Yeah, you won't get no complaints from me.
um,
um,
the only subjection
subjection
that I
that I
make
make
to you
to you
is
is
why
is
while
while
I'm talking,
I'm talking,
you might want to
you
mute
might want to mute
your mic.
your mic,
So it's not
so
that
it's not that
bad of a
bad of a
echo. Do you know what I'm saying? But
but
overall,
overall,
I think we did
I think we did
pretty well.
pretty well.
Now,
Now,
do you want to
do you want to
take us
take us
out,
out,
or
or
do you want
Sure.
do you want
for me to
to
roll my
roll my
you know my
you know my
Yeah, I close us out.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm just having
I'm just having a
hard time
hard time
talking
talking for some reason.
Yeah, you good. Yeah, I could take us out. I could take us out.
I mean,
I mean,
do you want
do you want
me to
me to
roll my
roll my
in
in
song
song
or
It's really good. It's a really good intro. So I would say it's fine where it is. I like how it started out. It's pretty cool.
oh okay,
but
uh,
uh,
I'm gonna
I'm gonna
mute my mic
mute my mic
and
you
take us out
out
and
Okie dokie.
and
we'll
we'll
do it like this
this
um again
again
next week. Is it
Okie
okay
dokie.
with
Is it okay with
you?
Okie dokie.
So
So
um go ahead, Adrian.
Adrian.
Good work as always. And we'll see you.
All
We'll
right.
see you for
episode 11 next week,
episode
guys.
11 next week, guys.
And
And
until then, go Gators.
go Gators. And
All right. Well, once again, this has been episode 10 with your host, Alex Perez, and me, your guest co-host, Adrian Green. And it's been a pleasure and an opportunity once again to sit down and have a chit chat with you guys about Gator football. Um, Unfortunately, we didn't get the W, but that's okay. It's always next week. So until next week for episode 11, Missouri Tigers and the Florida Gators. We will be meeting back up with you again. But until then, be safe, be blessed. And this was the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help us, God. You be blessed and have a blessed week and be safe. Go Gators.
Hey,
Hey,
guys,
guys,
if you
if
if
you
you love
if you love
football, you're
football,
gonna love this. This is Gator Talk with your host, Alex Perez and Agent Green. Let's head back to the boys from the Disability TV Network studios and your host of Gator Talk, Alex Perez and Agent Green. Take it away, boys.